So here we go, the new shape Fiesta ST. So yeah, a little bit of a revised facelift actually. And I've been sort of checking around sort of like Auto Trader to see which ones are for sale. And yeah, a couple have come up and I just want to kind of talk about the design and see what you guys kind of think about it. Being quite a big fast Ford fan, you know, I recently drove a Mark IV Focus ST on the channel. Yeah, I've always loved them and interested to know what people think of this. Now there are differences to the previous model, which I'll kind of show on. And just for like an initial look, here's just a quick teaser basically of this car in what looks like a stunning colour. I really do like it. Not too sure on the wheels, but let's come to that in a second. Here's a version of, well, the older model basically. And it's not just a few of the looks that have changed. So obviously you notice the front end's a little bit different there. And well, yeah, let's go through some of the bits of the old one. The seats have changed as well. They're no longer Recaros. They're sort of like Ford's in-house Ford Performance thing. Yeah, it's still available in 3 or 5 doors, which is good for a Fiesta. The big thing that's changed for me, which a lot of people wouldn't really notice or think about, is that the torque figure has changed. So even though the car is actually still the same brake horsepower, the torque has actually gone up by quite a lot. So if you check the driver specification, you'll see that the engine torque is 214 pound-feet and 197 brake horsepower from a 3-cylinder 1.5 litre engine. Now with the new model, they've made some changes, and if you check the specifications on that car, well, it's 236 pound-feet of torque. And I talked about this before, and that is actually a really big difference, particularly in a little light car like this. It will really pick up and go. So that's really the big change. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. But yeah, this is obviously a completely stock car. Let's go through this new Fiesta ST. I personally like the colour. I think it's quite cool. I like that sort of light blue. It's very Ford. And let's just check some of the pictures of this one. There's obviously some normal colours as well I'll show. But that front grille is definitely the big change, and you can definitely see that here. I mean, there's the front of the older model, and there's the front of the new model. So definitely bigger, looks more American to me, but I actually quite like the big grille. I think it's just, you know, I've kind of resisted temptation, and I just like it. I think it looks really cool. I think it looks really aggressive. It's like, yeah, it's trying to be bigger than it is, and I think that's quite cool. Side of the car, not too much change. Looks like a different set of wheels. I'm not particularly a big fan. Just looking at this, this is the first time I've kind of seen it as well, so you're going through it with me. I probably prefer the old model's wheels. I just think they looked a little bit better, a little bit cooler. I know there was a different set of wheels, so potentially maybe there's an upgrade wheels for these. I'm not too sure. For sure there'll probably be some sort of edition model as well, like a performance edition or similar to what they did with the ST edition. Quite a few things potentially to come with this new model, but let's just go through some more pictures of it. The rear looks pretty similar to me. I don't notice a huge amount of design changes. I mean, there you go, there's the rear of the previous one in sort of poorly lit conditions, so you get some sort of an idea. Yeah, that's a little bit of a better picture. Yeah, quite basic, and I quite like it. Again, it's nice, got a few nice touches. You can see the diffuser as well, but not too much changes. Yeah, it's pretty standard Ford affair. There's those wheels. Let me know your thoughts in the comments of what you think about these. Looks like it's running on Michelin Pilot Sport 4 tyres, which I actually have on my Mark 7 Golf R, so that's quite cool. Brakes on the Fiesta ST have always been really tiny, so if you do actually want to, you know, track your car or do something with it or have some fun driving, maybe a brake upgrade is on for it, but at the same time it does give it quite a lot of character. The colour is certainly the main aspect of this car that kind of blows it away. So the front end and the torque is what kind of does it for me. I mean, actually from that angle, if you're not too sure, you could even think it's a Focus. Obviously it's a lot smaller. There's also a big front splitter there, which, and like a few more sort of like design tweaks on the front. They've kind of done overload on it. Particularly if you compare that to the old previous model, which you've got here, hasn't got that front splitter, hasn't really got any design real elements. It's just got sort of like an unhappy face. The face is now sort of like grinning, I guess. Quite cool. And yeah, I mean, listen, it doesn't need that much of an air gap for this 1.5 litre engine. It looks cool, and yeah, I really like it. I'm liking the front end. And you get a little bit of a closer touches with the LEDs. You can really see those up close in detail. Front splitter looks really good as well, actually. Big fan. A few things changed inside, which is nice to actually see. The steering wheel was actually changed a little bit as well. Looks quite smart, and we'll sort of pull up a picture of the old steering wheel. There we go, which looked kind of like basic Fiesta, and that's what it was. And then if you check the new one, you get a few like red sport buttons, easier to press and it's easier to get to. Looks a little bit more sporty, is a little bit more sporty. I like it. Big fan. The seats, that's the change. No longer Recaros, Ford performance seats. You know, we'll have to see what it's like when you sit in them, but Ford seats have always been really body hugging and really, really great. If there was a criticism of the old seats and the old Recaro ones, see if we can put up a nice picture, is they're actually quite tight and really only for, you know, if you're like 17 years old basically and as thin as a stick, it would be fine. Otherwise, for anyone else, it's going to crush your legs a little bit because it's very, very tight. The Focus ST seats are obviously a little bit wider for the Focus. This one was quite tight. Looks like on the new one, just from looking at it, it could be potentially better, and they've kind of improved that. Quite cool that it's in-house. They've obviously lost the Recaro sort of branding and touch and feel. They've moved on, but that's what it looks like. And again, I like it. I don't think there's too much else that's really changed sort of inside. You've got the same sort of navigation. Everything else is quite simple. The main change is obviously with the looks and the extra torque, which is very, very cool. Now, there are a couple of other cars for sale, which you can see some pictures of. And these cars are all sort of trending above list, just to kind of beat the weight. I mean, this one's in grey, very smart. I think if you're going to get a Fiesta ST, you should get it in a bright colour. I had my Mark 7.5 in Spirit Blue. I think that's the way to go. It's not, I mean, this is very, I mean, you wouldn't even know it's an ST. So let's see if we can find some more brighter coloured cars, shall we? There's a nice white one here. 5-door again, so we haven't seen the 3-door yet. Yeah, really nice. Again, wheels, not my cup of tea, but they might be yours. I think that blue car really looked a lot better than these. Maybe this is just out in the rain. It hasn't really got the same touch. And you can get to see those seats again, which look cool, but you know, you have to sit in them, you have to drive it to kind of really know for sure. And let's see, I mean, a red one's always quite cool. You can also get it in green nowadays, as you can see, but obviously these are just photos, not the actual car. Another grey one, which we've seen before. Another white one, or a black one. Again, 5-door seems to be the way to go. Better wheels. Much happier with these wheels. So, well, that solved my only real criticism there. Black obviously hides a lot of it. The front end looks really aggressive. It kind of doesn't go with the rear. I mean, I don't know what you think. I suppose there is a little bit of a splitter. Black looks nice. The contrast with the red brake calipers and the red lights look really quite cool. Yeah, I like that. I prefer those wheels. They're kind of like a Lamborghini style. If you can remember back in sort of like the late noughties, 2000, I think it was around sort of like 2006 with the Focus ST, they kind of imitated the Lamborghini, I think it was like Gallardo or something wheels, and they did a good job. And this one looks, yeah, very, very nice. So that's my kind of criticism done on the wheels, because if you compare to the old ones, very, very similar actually, just with a slightly different pattern, but the same sort of ethos, if that makes sense. They do try to over-design the wheels, don't they, sometimes? There's the little engine, obviously with that extra torque, so you are actually getting something with your facelift. This car effectively should be faster, although it does say the 0 to 60 time is the same, sort of 6.5 seconds. So nothing's kind of changed there. Let's see if we can find one last picture, and we can kind of end it on it. Well, actually, there's not that many for sale. The cheapest one on Auto Trader is £23,000, and it's sort of saying beat the rush. But I think we've got to end it on this blue one. What does it actually say the colour is? It says it's fully loaded, this one. 17-inch alloys, which again, you probably would want the 18s, the upgrade. I think that looks a lot better personally. The colour here, it says solid race red, so that's not going to help me on whatever this colour is, because it's quite clearly not race red. But let me know what you think about the new Fiesta ST. Let me know if you're getting one. It seems that obviously car delays, as subscribers have messaged me, they're having to wait a very long time, unfortunately, and it's still sort of happening. Cool car. Maybe needs 18-inch wheels on this one. But let me know what you think. Comment below and like the video if you enjoy this type of content. It really does help the channel and I appreciate it.